Be me, 51F, living in the Bay Area. Chief People Officer, CPO for a SaaS unicorn in digital wellness space. My career has been built on soft skills, EQ, and corporate cultural architecture. Base salary is $245K. Husband is 53M. History teacher at a local public high school. He's a good man, steady, but let's be real. He's a supporting character in my movie. I make 4 times what he does. I choose the vacations, choose the cars, I choose the friends. He just nods and carries the luggage. We have one son, Liam, 25M. Liam was my grand project. I didn't just want a son, I wanted to raise the antidote to toxic masculinity. I wanted to nurture a boy who was sensitive, artistic, emotionally porous, a boy who would prefer poetry to power tools, a boy who would grow up to dismantle the patriarchy from the inside. From the moment he was born, I curated his existence. No blue onesies, no trucks, no soldiers, no aggressive iconography. His nursery was painted safe space sage. I filled his bookshelves with stories about feelings, community, and conflict resolution through dialogue. I banned superhero movies because they glorify vigilante violence. I thought I had the perfect formula. I was the sculptor, he was the clay. Reality, however, is stubborn. The first cracks appeared when he was about 5. I bought him a gender-neutral dollhouse, intending for him to roleplay complex social dynamics, left him alone for 20 minutes, came back to find he had dismantled the roof. He wasn't playing house, he was using a rock to hammer the plastic support beams because he wanted to see the skeleton. I scolded him for destroying property. He looked at me with wide, confused eyes. But Mum, I wanted to know how it stands up. I should have known then. Fast forward to elementary school. I signed him up for interpretive dance and violin. He was miserable. He would stand in the back of the dance class, stiff as a board, looking like he was in a hostage video. Meanwhile, he made friends with the neighbor's kid, Cody. Cody's dad was a mechanic who drank Monster energy drinks and owned a jet ski. Everything I despised. Liam started coming home smelling like gasoline and dirt. Knees always scraped, knuckles always bruised. I tried to intervene. Liam, why don't you invite Cody over here? We can do some watercolor painting. Liam looked at me like I was speaking Martian. We're building a ramp, Mum, for the bikes. A ramp? That sounds dangerous. It's awesome. We calculated the angle and everything. Calculated the angle? He was failing math in school because he wouldn't show his work the way the teacher wanted, but he was calculating ramp angles in the driveway. I dismissed it as a phase, just some latent boy energy that I needed to train out of him with more mindfulness exercises. Middle school was a battlefield. I was constantly in parent-teacher conferences, not for behavior, but for lack of engagement. His English teacher told me, Liam is physically present, but his spirit is elsewhere. He refuses to engage with the themes of oppression in our literature unit. I was mortified. I came home and lectured him for hours about privilege and social responsibility. He would just sit there, staring at a spot on the wall, stoic, unemotional. It infuriated me. Why wouldn't he cry? Why wouldn't he emote? I felt like I was talking to a stone wall. Sophomore year of high school, the divide became a canyon. I was at the peak of my career, giving TEDx talks about the empathy economy, featured in Forbes Women to Watch. I was driving a Tesla Model X, the one with the falcon doors. Felt like a spaceship. I was remodeling the house to be mid-century brutalist chic, spending $80,000 on a kitchen renovation just to get the right shade of slate grey counters. Meanwhile, Liam had discovered the metal shop at school. Suddenly, the C student was getting 100% in a class. But it was shop class. It didn't count. You can't put advanced welding on a Harvard application. He started bringing things home. Ugly, heavy metal sculptures, gears welded together, chains fused into shapes. He was so proud. Look, Mum, I mastered the TIG welder today. Look at these beads. Stack of dimes. I looked at the jagged metal with disdain. It's interesting, Liam, but heavy. Don't put it on the glass table. It's strong, Mum. It can hold a ton of weight. Great. Maybe you can sell it at a flea market one day. I saw the light go out in his eyes. I didn't care. I needed to break this obsession with manual labor. I needed him to focus on the SATs. I hired tutors, expensive ones, $150 an hour. He skipped the sessions to go hang out at a scrapyard. I was at my wit's end. My friends were all bragging about their kids. Josh got into Stanford. Emily is starting a non-profit for digital literacy. I had to sip my wine and say, Liam is exploring his tactile intelligence. I felt the judgment. I felt the shame. Senior year, the decision. I had the path laid out. Liberal arts college in Oregon, maybe a gap year in Europe to find his voice, then law school or an NGO. We sit down for dinner. I have the brochures fanned out on the table like a winning poker hand. Husband is eating his kale salad, keeping his head down. Liam is 18 now. He's filled out. He's not the lanky boy anymore. He's got broad shoulders, thick forearms. He eats like a horse. He pushes the brochures aside. Mom, Dad, I'm not going to college. Silence. The grandfather clock in the hall ticks loudly. I put my fork down, trembling with rage. Excuse me, I'm not going. I applied to the Commercial Diving Academy in Seattle. It's a 7-month program. I want to be an underwater welder. I laughed. A cold, sharp sound. A welder? You want to be a plumber in a wetsuit? It's specialized work, Mum. Critical infrastructure. It pays really well. I stood up. Pays well? Compared to what? The guy who mows our lawn? Liam, listen to me. The world is moving to a knowledge economy. AI is taking over. Robots will do the manual labor. If you choose this, you are choosing poverty. You are choosing to be obsolete. I did not raise you to be a grunt. I raised you to be a leader. Liam didn't flinch. He looked me dead in the eye. I am a leader, Mum. Just not in your world. My world is the only world that matters. I screamed. If you walk out that door to go to trade school, you are cut off. No tuition, no rent money, no car insurance. You are on your own. I thought the threat would crush him. I thought he would crumble and beg. He just stood up. Okay, that was it. Just okay. He went to his room, packed a green duffel bag, grabbed his savings jar, walked out the front door. Didn't say goodbye to me. Hugged his dad in the driveway. I watched from the window, sipping my organic tea. Furious, heartbroken, maybe a little, but mostly insulted. How dare he reject my vision? How dare he choose dirt and danger over the pristine path I paved for him? I told my husband, give him 6 months. Once he realizes how hard it is to pay rent on a laborer's wage, he'll be back. 1 year passes, 2 years, 3 years. We barely hear from him. Husband gets the occasional text. I'm in Louisiana. I'm in the North Sea. Safe. Working hard. Love you. No requests for money. No apologies. I stalk his social media. It's sparse. Rare photos of him on boats, wearing heavy gear, looking exhausted. Beard, grease on his face, holding a welding torch. I show the pictures to my colleagues at work as a cautionary tale. This is what happens when you don't prioritize higher education, I'd say with a sad sigh. He's lost. Probably living paycheck to paycheck in some motel. Meanwhile, I am thriving, or so I think. Market is booming. Company goes public. My stock options are worth a fortune. We buy a vacation condo in Tahoe. I buy a Peloton, I use twice. I buy a purebred French bulldog because it matches the aesthetic of the living room. I feel invincible. I am on the right side of history. I am wealthy, educated, and progressive. Liam visits once, for Christmas. 4 years in, he drives a rental car. He looks different. He's huge, physically imposing. He walks with a density that makes the floorboards creak. His hands are rough, scarred, calloused. Shake hands with him is like gripping a piece of oak. It repulses me. It's so primitive. We sit at dinner. I decided to be gracious but condescending. So Liam, are you still doing the swimming thing? He cuts his roast beef. It's saturation diving, Mum. But yes. And do they give you health insurance? Or is it just cash under the table? He chuckles. Full benefits, Mum. Union. Well, that's something, I guess. But don't you worry about your mind rotting. You're not exactly reading philosophy down there, are you? I listen to audiobooks in the decompression chamber, he says. Audiobooks, I scoff. It's not the same. My friend Sharon's son is a junior VP at Deloitte now. He just bought a loft in the city. He's doing so well, intellectual work. Liam takes a sip of water. Good for him. He refuses to engage. He refuses to fight. It drives me insane. I want him to be defensive. I want him to be insecure. But he's not. He's just solid. He leaves the next day. I tell my husband he's hiding something. He's probably deep in debt and too proud to ask. Did you see his clothes? Flannel and denim. He looks like a lumberjack. Husband sighs. He looked happy, Mary. Happy. He looked tired. He looked used. The turning of the tide. Year 5. The tech bubble bursts. Inflation skyrockets. Interest rates hit levels we haven't seen in decades. My company, which never actually made a profit, starts panicking. Investors want efficiency. The people and culture department is suddenly looking very expensive. I get the meeting invite on a Tuesday. Restructuring discussion. I walk in confident. I'm the CPO. I built this culture. The CEO, a 32-year-old sociopath in a hoodie, looks bored. We're pivoting to a lean operational model. Your position is being eliminated. Effective immediately. I'm stunned, but the initiatives, the diversity workshops, the wellness retreats, we can't afford them. We need to ship code. Goodbye. I'm escorted out. 20 years of career building, gone in 10 minutes. I go home and drink a bottle of wine. I'll find something else, I tell myself. I'm a catch. I start applying. Crickets. Nobody is hiring C-suite HR executives for $250K anymore. The market is flooded with laid-off tech workers. I get a few interviews. They go poorly. They look at my age. 52 now. They look at my salary expectations. They ghost me. 6 months pass. Severance is gone. Unemployment is a joke. The bills are piling up. We are house poor. Mortgage is $9,000 a month. Property taxes, insurance. Husband's teacher salary barely covers the groceries and utilities. We start burning through savings. 401k takes a hit from the market crash. I start selling things. The Tahoe condo? Market is frozen. Can't sell it without taking a massive loss. Sell the Tesla. That hurt. Watching my spaceship get driven away by a stranger. Now I'm driving my husband's 10-year-old Prius. Humiliating. I stop going to lunch with my friends. I can't afford the $30 salads anymore. I isolate myself. Depression sets in. I spend my days in a bathrobe, scroll LinkedIn, seeing open to work banners everywhere, feeling the walls closing in. I am the expert on human capital, and I am worth nothing. Husband suggests calling Liam. Maybe he can help? I explode. Help? With what? Pocket change? He's a manual laborer. He probably barely makes rent. I will not demean myself by asking my failure of a son for money. Mary, we are drowning. We will figure it out. I am not a charity case. The rock bottom. January. Unusually cold winter for the Bay Area. Storm knocks out power for 2 days. When it comes back on, the furnace doesn't. House is 48 degrees. I can see my breath in the living room. Call the HVAC repair company. Guy comes out, looks at the system. Lady, this unit is 25 years old. The heat exchanger is cracked. It's red tagged. Illegal to run. Carbon monoxide hazard. Fix it, I say, teeth chattering. Can't fix. Need a full replacement. Ductwork is shot too. How much with labor and permits? About $14,000. I start laughing. Hysterical, manic laughter. We have $320 in the checking account. Credit cards are maxed from living expenses. We don't have it, I whisper. Guy shrugs. Sorry. Buy some space heaters. He leaves. Husband comes home, finds me wrapped in 3 duvets on the sofa, crying. Not cute crying, ugly, heaving sobs of total defeat. It's over, I say. We're going to freeze. We're going to lose the house. Husband doesn't argue. He pulls out his phone. I'm calling him. Don't you dare. Shut up, Mary. Just shut up. He dials. Speakerphone. Ring, ring. Yeah? Hey, Dad. Liam's voice is loud, clear, confident. Background noise of heavy machinery. Maybe a helicopter? Liam. We're in trouble. Husband explains the furnace, the job loss, the money. I curl into a ball, waiting for the mockery, waiting for him to say, should have gone to trade school. Silence on the line for 3 seconds. Is Mum okay? She's freezing and terrified. Okay, pack a bag. Go to the Hyatt. I'll book it from here. I'm flying in tomorrow morning. Liam, we can't afford a hotel. I'm paying. Go. Now. Click. We go to the hotel. It's a suite. Room service ordered in advance. I eat a burger like a starving animal. I sleep for 14 hours. Next morning, we go back to the freezing house to meet him. I'm expecting a rental car, or maybe his old beater. A massive, blacked-out Bentley Continental GT pulls into the driveway. Low-slung coupe, wide stance, flawless black paint, large alloy wheels, understated and expensive. Driver door opens. Liam steps out. He looks like a giant. Clean Carhartt pants, Red Wing boots, a heavy flannel jacket over a thermal. He looks healthy. He looks wealthy. Not soft wealthy. I can buy you and sell you wealthy. He walks up to the porch. Dad hugs him. I stand there, arms crossed, shivering. Hi, Mom. Hi, Liam. Another truck pulls up. HVAC company. 4 guys jump out. Liam points at the house. Rip it out. All of it. I want the top-tier Carrier Infinity system. Smart zoning. New ducts. Get it done today. Foreman nods. Yes, sir. We're on it. Liam walks past me into the house. Let's talk. We sit at the kitchen table. He pulls out an iPad Pro. Dad gave me the rough numbers. I need the real ones. Mortgage balance? I hesitate. It's none of his business. Mum. Numbers. Now. His voice isn't angry. It's the voice of a man who gives orders that keep people alive. I crumble. $480,000 left on the mortgage. Payments are $9K. Credit card debt, $45,000, I whisper. Personal loans, $20,000. He types it all in. Face doesn't change. He looks at us. Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm paying off the mortgage. Today. Wire transfer. I'm clearing the debt. I gasp. My brain can't process the math. Liam, that's over $500,000. You can't just put that on a credit card. The interest will crush you. He looks at me, a slow, sad smile. I'm not using credit, Mum. How? I demand. You're a welder. You dive in the ocean. He leans back. I'm a lead saturation diving supervisor, an underwater welding specialist for deep sea pipeline. I work 6 months a year. I live in a pressurized chamber for 28 days at a time. My base rate is $2,200 a day, plus depth pay, plus hazard pay. I bill about $700,000 a year. I stop breathing. $700,000? And he's 26. And, he continues, I didn't spend it on Teslas and retreats. I bought land. I have 4 rental properties in Texas, and I just bought the Miller Estate down the road. The Miller Estate, the 15-acre horse property, the one that listed for $2.4 million. You bought the Miller place? Yeah. I'm moving my fiancé there next month. Fiancé? Everything is spinning. My worldview is collapsing. The dumb trade, the waste of potential. He is the 1%. He is the capitalist success story I wanted to be. But he did it with his hands. He did it with the toxic masculinity. I tried to purge. I start to cry. Tears of shame. Tears of relief. Tears of absolute humiliation. Why, I ask, after everything I said to you, after I kicked you out? He looks at his dad. Because Dad's a good guy. Then he looks at me. And because you're my mum. Even if you were wrong about literally everything. Brutal. He stands up. I'm going to oversee the install. I put $10,000 in your joint account for groceries and bills. Don't spend it on organic kale or wellness crystals. Buy meat. Pay the electric bill. And Mum? I look up. Mascara running. Stop applying for jobs. What? You're retired. I'm covering the expenses now. You look tired. You're stressed. Just stop. Stop trying to climb a ladder that doesn't exist anymore. He walks out. I watch him go. He talks to the workers. They respect him. He speaks their language. I look at my hands. Manicured, soft, useless. I spent my life judging men like him. And now, a man like him is the only reason I have a roof over my head. 6 months later, the dynamic has shifted permanently. We go to dinner at the Miller Estate. It's breathtaking. High ceilings, exposed beams, stone fireplace. Not the cold, sterile aesthetic I loved. This feels warm. It feels safe. His fiancée is there, Sarah, 24, works as a pediatric nurse. She's sweet, pretty, traditional. She adores him. She's in the kitchen making a salad while he grills steaks outside. I watch them through the patio doors. He picks her up, spins her around. She laughs. It's a scene from a 1950s movie, the scene I spent 30 years deconstructing in my gender studies essays, the scene I called oppressive. But looking at it now, it looks like happiness. It looks like stability. I walk outside. He hands me a glass of very expensive Cabernet. Nice night, he says. It is, I admit. I look at him. Liam, I want to apologize, but the words stick in my throat. My pride is the last thing I have. He knows. He clinks his glass against mine. Don't worry about it, Mum. Just enjoy the wine. He doesn't need my apology. He doesn't need my validation. He has transcended me. We sit down to eat. The steak is perfect. The conversation is light. I don't bring up politics. I don't bring up social justice. I don't critique the patriarchy. Because the patriarchy paid off my mortgage. The patriarchy bought me this wine. And the patriarchy is currently fixing the world while I sit here and consume. My husband is happier than I've ever seen him. He and Liam talk about fishing, about engines, about the land. I realize I was the problem. I was the dark cloud over this family, trying to force them into boxes they didn't fit in, trying to make them weak so I could feel strong. A year later, Liam and Sarah are getting married. Huge affair. No debt, paid in cash. I am mother of the groom. I wear a dress Liam paid for. I sit in the front row. The priest talks about protection and strength and duty. Old me would have rolled my eyes. New me just listens. I look around the church. It's full of his friends from the industry. Big men, rough hands, uncomfortable in suits. But there is an energy here, a capability. If the roof collapsed right now, these men would hold it up. If a fire started, they would run into it. My corporate friend? They would tweet about it. I realized that civilization rests on the shoulders of men like my son, and I spent my life spitting on them. At the reception, Liam gives a speech. He thanks his dad. He thanks his crew. He pauses, looks at me. And thanks to my mum. Room goes quiet. She taught me that if you want something in this life, you have to fight for it. Even if you have to fight the people who are supposed to support you. People clap. They think it's a compliment. I know what it is. It's a tombstone for my ego. I smile and wave. A prop in his story. Later that night, I'm back in my paid-off house. Heat is running quietly, thanks to the new system. Husband is asleep. I go to the bookshelf. I pull down my old copies of Feminist theory, my old journals about raising the non-toxic male. I look at them. Then I look at the photo on the mantle. Liam in his diving gear, giving a thumbs up. I take the books, and I put them in the recycling bin. I pour a glass of wine. I sit in the dark. And for the first time in my life, I am grateful that I failed. Because if I had succeeded, if I had made him soft, we would be homeless. I sip the wine. I am a hypocrite. I am a failure. But I am warm. And that has to be enough.